What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast. It's 8 o'clock Monday evening. You know what time that is. We're going to kick off the barbecue week. What a show we got going on tonight, folks. I am excited. We got a competition coming in July, a new sanctioning body coming in. Dutch, I can explain that one. This one is worth it. But before we get into that, we gotta take care of us, those who take care of me and us. Tonight's show coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Shake Studios in Center Bonstead, New Hampshire. Uncle Steve Shake. What can I say? Some of the best seasoning out on the market today. 16 amazing flavors. The new Magic Ribs goes great on everything. I even threw it on some ice cream the other night. And whoo, baby, I'm on to something there. But yeah, Uncle Steve uses the freshest ingredients. All the mixing, bottling, everything is done by him. Everything is small batch, so always fresh when he picks your order. Great customer service. If you have any questions or any shake needs, simply email him, give him a call. He'll answer the phone, and he'll talk with you and get you right through everything. For all your shake questions, flavor profiles, and everything. Check them out at UncleSteveShake.com, and also on Facebook, check out the group Uncle Steve Shake Nation for everything Uncle Steve Shake. Uncle Steve Shake shakes them on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the Diamond of Roy City, Texas. Gabriel and his crew, man, they do an incredible job. That small hometown mom and pop feel store, always the freshest meats, produce, other grocery needs. Has seasonings, rubs, sauces, everything you need for a competition weekend or just a group of everybody hanging out in the backyard. Gabriel and his crew got you covered. You can get special cuts for you, the whole nine. You stop by and you feel a little hungry, stop and get something to eat. Sit down, talk to the boys, shoot the queue a little bit. Hang out, that old barbershop type feel right there at Joe's Meat Market, Royce City, Texas. Joe's Meat Market for the win. Let's see who's in. I already know Bat. I know Dutch is there because he already needed to bust my chops. There we go. Mrs. Maggs, hello, dear. Rico, what's up, brother? Big D, what's happening? Chris Rosinski, what's up, brother? Judge Webb, what's happening? Dutch, if you need a translator for tonight's show, please enable your NEP button on your mobile device. Very funny, sir. Matt Pereira, you're in the chat too. What a coincidence. Brother Steven, what's happening? Tim Rogers, what's going on? But, all right, guys. As you can already see, I am joined by Matt Pereira from Matt's Backyard Barbecue. And we will actually be joined shortly by Mr. Aaron Leslie of Texas Oil Dust. He's just pulling back in, getting some couple things set up, and he'll join us to help us out on this evening's topic. So, Matt, what's up, dude?
How's it going, John?
Hanging in there, brother. I have been giddy like a schoolgirl since Wednesday, when I opened up my phone and boom, there was a certain post, which I have screenshotted. So if you're listening, sorry. But right there about the Rhode Island State Barbecue Championship, July 5th and 6th in Warwick, Rhode Island. Automatic for the Jack.
Yes.
It was exciting. But the one part of it that really caught my attention was that top little banner there saying Champions Barbecue Alliance. CBA is coming to New England. You and I have been talking about it before. I know when we had Fred Robles on, you had mentioned in the chat, would you guys be interested in coming to New England? He said, yeah, just reach out. They've been looking to get out of Texas, spread their wings a little bit. And looks like you made it happen, brother. Give us all the 411 here. Ooh.
Well, once we found out there was going to be no contest in Rhode Island this year, I reached out to Fred and Roddy from the CBA and said, hey, would you guys be willing to come to Rhode Island? This is the weekend I'm thinking of. Is it possible? I get a call from Roddy a few weeks later saying, yes, I want to put you in touch with the best organizers we have, Rhonda and Steve Pfeiffer, and they're going to hook you up. And it's just off to the races we went. We got a location at the Little Rhodey Beagle Club in Warwick, Rhode Island. With some help from some friends, we secured that location. And we're raising money for a charity called Friends of Jake. It's a children's charity.
Children's charity, okay.
So it's been in the back of my mind for a few years since I competed in one CBA event in Texas a couple of years back. Fell in love with it. I says, we need to do this outside of Texas. Eventually get it to New England. And here we are. It's coming to New England. The trains are moving. Get out of the way.
There's Stephen Pfeiffer. What's up, brother? Junior Salinas, Big Salinas Barbecue in the house. Corby Simpkins, what's up? Doodle Q. Mad Max, what's happening? So yeah, I'm excited about it. A little change of pace, a little different. The rules are pretty much the same. There's a few tweaks and different things which I like. And Aaron will come on once he gets settled because, like I said, I wanted to have you on, who's running the event, and then have someone from CBA on who knows the rules. So Aaron, as a cook, he knows what they're looking for, the best ways to do it. Because there are some changes.
There are a lot of similarities, but some major changes.
Yeah.
Number one, no garnish.
Yeah.
No garnish allowed in the box. We don't like salad. Sorry.
No salad.
Eat in the box
Uncle
only.
Steve, what's up?
And the timelines. The timelines are an hour turn-in times.
Hour turn-in times.
Big difference than 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then there's still that 10-minute window, but it's a little different. So, like you said, we'll get into all of that in a little while. So, tell us about the venue itself. Is it we talking parking lot here? We talking campground?
It's a bunch of fields in a dog club. It's the Little Rhodey Beagle Club.
Okay.
They have hunting dogs and things like that. There are campsites with electricity and water. We should be able to squeeze in 45 to 50 teams. That's the goal. And have one hell of a time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's going to be held July 5th and 6th. So, folks, especially of us in New England, that's a Friday, Saturday. You're home on Sunday. While the pretty much all the contests here are Saturday, Sunday, load in Friday, one meat challenge, things like that on Saturday, then turn-ins on Sunday. So this is a little different, but this is actually how they do it in Texas. That you're all heading home or already home come Sunday morning. Now, any reason for 4th of July weekend, or has that become a little bit of an issue, or were we just trying to?
It was an issue. Initially, we tried working with the state of Rhode Island to find a location.
Yeah.
And it became an issue because of the holiday weekend. So I decided to take it to a private venue, and that worked out fine. There are no contests on the East Coast on that weekend. 0. No KCBS contests, no contests at all on that weekend. It's the only open weekend that was available, and it fit within that window to still qualify for the 2024 Jack.
Which is
July 31st is the cutoff.
And starting August 1st is for
2025 starts August 1st.
So this is for upcoming October Jack Daniels.
Yes.
Bad, figuring it's $350 for the most this way. They're on prize money. See of because signups literally just went live on Friday.
Signups just went live. Prize money will be dependent on how many teams we have, and if we can get any sponsors to reduce the cost, because we do have to provide dumpsters and porta potties and things like that come out of those funds. So if we get to 50 teams, the prize pool will probably be in the vicinity of $7,000 to $8,000.
Okay.
If we get to 50 teams.
50. All right.
Not bad for a contest in New England.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've been seeing some of these contests down there that have been popping up. And it's holy shit.
Anybody wants to provide us with $50,000 in prize money, I will gladly take it. I will not turn it down.
So, what intrigued you about CBA? Obviously, KCBS is pretty much the main sanctioning body that everybody up this way uses.
Right.
So what piqued your interest with CBA?
It was different, and it was just more of a relaxed environment where you're not rushing around. Well, number one, the garnish. I hate doing garnish. That's my wife's job. Hate that. So eliminating that's an A+ for me. And it's just a relaxed format. It's you got an hour in between turn-ins. So you're not walking a box, running all the way back, getting the next box ready, running all the way back up. You got time to do it right. And, of course, the awards, they put on a show. Every team who signs up for this contest needs to have a walk-up song, because that is how you will be called if you place in the top 10.
Absolutely. Now, where did I see it? You're actually looking for when guys sign up, Two songs. In
Two
case
songs,
one
yes.
is already taken, I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right, all right. Big
And
Rome.
please, no one use chicken fried. Chicken fried's already taken, so nobody use it.
Chicken fried is already taken. And the reason it's already taken is Mr. Bill Purvis of Chicken Fried Barbecue will be coming up to cook for this contest. We already got him some drums, a trailer, so he'll be flying in. I talked to him the other day. He's excited about it. Carlos Calzada, Smoking Los, who is on a hot streak right now, was, if I'm not mistaken, was actually the first person signed up for it.
He is the first Texan to sign up. Texan, I use that term loosely because his family is from the Rhode Island area.
Yeah. Yeah, but we all know Carlos, and great guy, so it's exciting.
He is on fire. He is on fire right now.
Yep. Simon, what's up? Joe, what's happening? Randy, what's going on? But yeah, I mean, from what else I'm hearing is this has actually caused quite a stir down in Texas.
Yes.
This contest is the word of this contest is getting around. Part of it being, of course, they want to come up to New England. Why wouldn't you want to come up to New England, especially 4th of July weekend? There might only be an inch of snow on the ground. Come on, that's good weather. You know what I mean?
I might set up the snow guns just in that little Texas section.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. But like I said, a big attraction for it is that it is an auto for the Jack.
Yes, because if I'm not mistaken, there are 175 bungs in the draw in Texas. So if you win a state championship in Texas and get a bung, you have a 1 in 175% chance of getting there. So this is a big draw for them. It's a sanctioning body that they're accustomed to, and it's an auto.
Yep. Patrick Cullen, what's up? Robert Bowman, what's happening, brother? And now, if I wasn't mistaken, you had also said Robert Smith was going to be heading on up.
That's what I have heard. He said he's rolling on up. We shall see. We've got some heavy hitters coming. Now we need our KCBS heavy hitters to sign up as well.
Yep.
Now make this one hell of a East versus Texas contest.
You had said something interesting about that. Like you said, this one is an auto because it's the only one on Rhode Island. If you are pulling the rigs up, and if you could actually pull it off the following weekend, there's a contest in Connecticut.
Yes,
and that'll be
Connecticut
for a bung draw, but that'll give you a 1 in 3 chance. Which, like I said, compared to 1 in 175 out of Texas, 1 in 3, those odds are pretty damn good. But come up to New England, cook the auto, stay the week, check out everything New England has to offer, get some good fresh seafood, which I would know nothing about because I don't dig seafood. But anyway, different story, that's a different topic for a different show. And go cook the following weekend in Connecticut.
That one is also a Friday-Saturday contest.
Oh, okay.
That is also a Friday-Saturday contest.
Oh, interesting. KCBS?
KCBS.
Friday, okay.
Jeff Mullins and Scott McDonald are putting that one together.
Okay, that makes sense to me now. That makes sense of why. Okay, because they get it. They get it. Uh, yeah. So this is going to be good. Like you said, some of the boys are coming up. I know one gentleman who is still trying to work some stuff out. Actually, where the hell is he? He hasn't shown up yet. But there are when I was talking to Bill, there are a few other guys who are really talking about wanting to come up. Obviously, equipment's an issue. Well, like with Bill, you were able to get Kathy Trainer's trailer and drums.
Yes.
For him to use, because I believe
Carlos Calzada is using my equipment.
Your equipment.
And
because
another team is using Rico Pasquale's equipment from Q Shanty.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's him from Renegade Barbecue.
Yeah. And here's the man. Look at this sexy thing right here. Watch this. This is pure sexual Texas right here.
There we go.
What's up, bitches?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Aaron?
What you guys do? Hey, man.
Woo! Look at that wall, son. Damn it, boy.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. That was last year.
Yeah, that's all right.
You got your Royal, you got your San Antonio, you got all your buckles up there. You got the doors, and you got all the, and you got obviously got your big checks, up on top. I mean, that's all that shit. So I just had to clean out my trailer, and that was all in my trailer and my shop. So
awesome.
What's going on?
So Matt here is running the event, 4th of July weekend, Warwick, Rhode Island. Automatic for the jack. So it's the only contest in Rhode Island. And so, we were just going over all the in particulars about the event. Price, how many teams are able to fit, location, all this, why he went with CBA as the sanctioning body and, all of that. But with the guys from New England who are going to be cooking, obviously the majority, or at least good 97%, have never cooked a CBA event.
Well, they've probably cooked the KCBS.
We cooked the Cape CBS. The rules are pretty similar, but a little different. So that's why I reached out to you to. Obviously, you cook CBA and the rules inside and out.
I mean, I don't know them all. I mean, just because it's I don't pay attention to all the little small print and the details. But no, I'm just kidding. That no, I don't know what y'all discussed so far, and kind of talk about it. I'm trying to kind of put my clock together so I can fly up there on the 5th or even on the 4th, and might be kind of tough, and then come up there and cook it. But we'll if you've cooked a KCBS cook-off, if you have been to a KCBS event and you have participated in a backyard or a professional event, don't change your game. Just don't put the damn rabbit food in the bottom of it, and you're good. That's it. There's only two main rules you need to worry about in CBA. Just two main rules. Okay. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory, right? You got to have a bone inside of a rib. I say that. You don't have to have that, I don't guess. But I don't have to go back and look at KCBS's rules. Could you turn in a boneless pork rib?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't speaking out of turn because I haven't seen that like Dale, but I know that if I was to pop a bone out of a rib, would it disqualify? So that's, I think, outside the box sometimes. But regardless, the The only two things you really got to worry about: you can't shred or pull your chicken. You can turn in legs, thighs, wings, a half chicken. You can turn in leg quarters. You can turn in boneless chicken thighs. You can. It doesn't matter. Just don't shred it and just don't pull it. Okay. Other than that, it's pretty much anything goes. You know, not if you are at home and you cook the best set of leg quarters on the block. I mean, that is your gig, right? Then turn it in. Cook you some leg quarters. You don't have to separate the leg and the thigh. You don't have to get all. It's just good food, but at the same time, I mean, you know, you're going to get an appearance score. You're going to get a tenderness and a taste score. So, if you are a KCBS cook, don't be nervous about a CBA, because we are right there. We're the same. We're on the same platform. Okay, we just don't put garnish in the box. You can't chop or shred, or I say that chop or shred your chicken, and you can't chop or shred your brisket. You can turn in slices, you can turn in burn-ins, you can turn in either one, you can turn in both. That's pretty much the rules. Now, pork is anything goes in pork. It has to be from the pork butt. You know, you can pull it, shred it, slice it. You know, you can chunk it. You can do whatever you want to do there. And then your pork ribs, obviously, it's you know, the same way, the same thing goes. Stack them in a box.
Okay. Steve Pfeiffer, fork and knife can't pick up the protein.
That's Stephen's right. So as you get in, I'm just giving you the meat rules, right? So just, I mean, that's kind of the basic deal. But it is a fork and a knife. So there's going to be 6 judges per table, and we will judge up to 6 boxes, up to 12 boxes. That's the max that each table will get is 12 boxes, right? So you might have 8 on this table and 8 on the next table. You may have 9. Okay, there's going to be an even spread. You can, if you go in there and you think, you know what, I'm on, and say there's 6 judges, and a guy puts in 10 bones, right, in a rib box. Say he puts 5 on the bottom, 5 on the top. The judge cannot reach in there and take that whole rib. If he does, he can't put it back in the box. But it's a fork and a knife game, so we want you to cut your piece off and take it. You got a whole medallion. You're doing money muscles. They take the whole medallion, and that's okay. But the thing is that we want you to put enough. We have a set of rules. We want a minimum of 7 ribs, minimum of 7 slices of brisket. That way all the judges can get it. So if one judge does reach in there and pick up that whole slice, you still have enough for the other 5 judges to eat. On the backside of that is, you know, we all know, just like KCBS, we want presentation also helps. And it's a big factor to a certain point. So you want to fill the box up too. So some guys will fill the box up, and some guys will just put the minimum pieces they need in there, because it was the best of what they had. So it's not that, you know, it's not a really big difficult. I've seen 6 medallions and that's it. I've seen 6 nuggets of somebody just kind of cubed one up and stuck 6 pieces in there, and they walked. So it's kind of it's just run your same KCBS profile for the first CBA contest. You'll get the feel for it, and then that'll be it. But they are not going to pick it up, and they're not going to eat it. Okay, it will be a fork and knife only. One time in the box. That's all they get. They get one time in that box with that fork and that knife.
And speaking of the boxes, CBA uses QR codes. Your box will come to you with a QR code already on the top lid, and you will see a piece of paper with a QR code. So when you go to turn in, they'll scan the paper and they'll scan your box. So there is no quote unquote number other than
there's no number that is going on the box. No. Now behind the scenes there is a number. The judges have a system and they number the boxes. Okay, that's how they're going to keep it set. But the computer system that has been designed that we use is a generated shuffle. So when a judge goes in to line up to sit down at a table, the computer has shuffled the phones, right? The computers the tablets we're going to be using. And so it shuffles that up. And so if 4 guys walk in, 4 best friends walk in, they're not going to be sitting next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have old Mr. Chatterbox over there talking about how good this was, that was, and how bad that sucks. You're not going to have that with 4 guys or 3 guys or 2, whatever. You know, your bestie walks in, you're not going to sit next to each other. It's going to shuffle you around, but it's also going to shuffle the boxes. It's just like playing dice. It's just the computer rolls that random number and bam, that box goes to this table. And then, but it's a numbered system, right? So you number it accordingly. And Stephen Pfeiffer was just chimed in, and they're a whole lot better to answer the backside of how the judges think and how they're moving around in the backside. He's a whole lot better to answer this than I am, because I do not go in the back of the judging area. Probably bad for me, but I'm telling you the truth. So but it shuffles you around, and then, as I said, the boxes are numbered, and then of course it's a one bite round. So the best bite on the table, it's gets the highest score kind of thing, and then it's a cumulative judging. So the scoring system is accumulative, and but the QR code, you want to keep that with you. If you happen to lose it, then you can tell the judge, get there early. The window is 10 minutes before. There's not a 5 before or 5 after. There's a 10 before. So it's the window opens up at 11:50 and 1 second, and the window closes at 11:59 and 59 seconds. So if you show up at 12 o'clock on the dot, and that clock says 12:00 or 12:00:00, you are late. Okay, so don't try to turn it in. I mean, you can sweet talk him all day long, but Steven's not going to let it happen. He's going to tell you, adios, go throw it in the trash. So when that gets done and your judging gets happening and all that's going in the background, takes these guys about 20-25 minutes usually, and they're already done. They're reloading and they're going to the next stage. So you get a 1 hour turn in between, unless you hit a certain amount of teams and it gets bumped up. So the QR code is huge, but if you lose it, say the wind blows it off your table, you can't find it, try to turn it at the beginning of the window, and that way you can tell the head judge, say, I'm sorry, I've lost my QR code. Can I tell you my team name? And they can search you in the computer and find that number and attach that number, your team number, your QR code number, to that box.
Okay. Good to know on that one.
They're not going to do it every time, but if you lose your paper, I mean, circumstances happen. Okay, I mean, it's sometimes things do work, but we have a backup plan for everything.
Right, see you, Pat. Thanks for tuning in, brothers. Yeah, see you July 6th for sure. But yeah, that was one of the things I was going to hit on, that 10-minute window, because obviously KCBS, you 5 minutes before to 5 minutes after. So the first turn in is chicken at noontime. So you got 11:55 to 12:05. Not in CBA. You got 11:50 till 11:59, 59.
59 seconds. And if I'm wrong, Steven can jump on it real quick and he can type up that I'm wrong or right. Mm-hmm. But there are plenty of people that have missed turn in. Kind of that walk of shame. There's plenty of people that have. There's guys that have almost missed turn in. And you don't want to be that person that misses your turn in, but pay attention to your timeline, pay attention to your window. That extra 30 minutes you don't get in KCBS is kind of nice. Yeah. It allows you to come back after turn in, just take a break, 10 or 15 minutes, move on to the next meet. Thanks, Stephen. Mm-hmm. So, CBA is one of the easiest, most fun-filled events that you're going to cook. Okay, and I say this because it allows you to be creative. It allows you to pull some images out of your mind, run a certain style of box, and not have to worry about the green, right? Because when you put all your kale or your parsley or whatever in the box, you've taken up the bottom third or quarter of that box, so that height is missing, right? So if you put a half chicken on top of that lettuce, it might not close. Mm-hmm. And but at the same time, when we have that whole bottom, it's just foil in the box. There's one sheet of foil. I have a TikTok video, hit 4 million views in a week. But it's I just show you how I press my boxes together. I put a piece of foil over the top instead of box on top. It's a trick that's been around for a long time. I just happened to take a quick shot of it. So I tell people to look at it. That way they can see how I do it. So we don't want to crease it. We just unfold it, put it in the box. Put your meat in there. Turn your barbecue in. And and just pick you out a badass song, because that way you'll have a good song when you start walking up, and you'll collect those checks.
That's right. Now, is the foil provided for you?
Foil. You will get 4 boxes. I don't know if you have any ancillary programs. I haven't looked at all the meat set. I don't ever get that far out. But the they will provide the amount of boxes that you enter, and the foil will come in those boxes. You just got to unfold it and place it in the box.
Okay. Okay. And I know Stephen had put in, as far as the judging goes, where the hell did it go? There it is. Presentation is 18%. Texture is 35.5%. Taste is 46.5%.
That's great. So texture and tenderness is kind of the same thing, right? Okay, just so I'm making that explanation there. 18% is your presentation. You may not think that's a big deal until you're sitting at a tenth of a point to go to from a third place to a reserve, or breaking the top 10. So presentation is not the biggest thing on there, but it's something you want to pay attention to. And most cooks who cook KCBS are already going to take care of that presentation anyways, because they want their barbecue to look good. And so that's something you want to pay attention to, but it's not a huge factor, right? It's not something that is going to it's not something that is going to ruin your day, but but you're going to need that extra. You're going to need that 18%. And some guys are going to need more than 18%, but they're going to need that. So take care of your boxes, make it look good, man. Just do your best, do your game, and do what you do. That's pretty much it. It's simple and easy.
Yeah. And Daddy Dutch, Aaron is looking good, or maybe it's the Vanders behind him. Always the smart ass one,
I mean, he's just jealous. I'm a few inches shorter than he is, but I'm a hell of a lot sexier. He's just mad.
Yeah. Serge has a great question. Can we use our membership QR code to match our boxes at pickup?
You mean your membership QR code? That's what you're going to get on a piece of paper. Is they're going to give you the QR code is attached to you. We want everybody to become a member of CBA, because when you're a member of CBA, you can travel through the background of the website, and you can look at your tables. You can see who was on your tables. You can see the scores, what placement on your table you were. So becoming a member for $50 a year, that's a huge thing anyway. So you're always going to have that QR code, but your team, when you become a member, you'll get a QR code and you'll have a number, right? But at a cook-off, if you're not a member, it's just you're assigned it just gives you a number, and they're not going to your box won't even know. Steven's right. Your box, tying your QR code that you have to your box, you can't do that, because the computer, once you bring it up and they scan your QR code, and then you'll hear a ding, and then you'll scan your box. When you'll hear that bell ring, that ding, and then that means that they connected together. So now your QR code is attached to your QR code on the box, and that's the only way. Nobody has any information whatsoever what that box belongs to. We're not going to open it at turn in either. We're not going to look at it. So go right to the back. It's going to get judged. So the QR code will not even be assigned to your box until you turn in and they run that scanner and you hear those dings. That's when it's going to be your box.
Cool. Let me see. Disqualification is the usual stuff. No toothpicks, no foreign objects in the box. Yeah. Or else you're gone.
If you cook a half chicken, or chicken breast or something like that, and one of the judges says, hey, it's raw. Obviously those raw meats come into factor. The head judge is in the background, which I believe it's Steven and Rhonda. Those guys are they're going to make that decision call. A smoke ring is not a raw chicken. I mean, we all know this, but as a cook, if it's pink on the outside, it ain't raw. There's a different deal. But we also know that if a judge at any organization whatsoever, if a judge says, "Oh, that's raw," he just ruined the whole table for that one box. It's just going to happen that way. So there's some discussion in the background that'll help do that. But there's not very many boxes that ever get disqualified from CBA. Just to be honest, I haven't heard of too many. There has been some, like some raw chicken calls, but other than that, there really hasn't been any kind of And we don't have a way to put it in the box. You can stick it in there any way you want. So, presentation and the way you put it in there, as long as you follow the rules and you put the slices or burn ends, you put the pork from the pork butt. Do not turn in pork tenderloin. Okay, don't do that, because those judges back there, they're cooks as well. This organization was made by cooks for cooks. So everybody that's judging has also competed in barbecue. You're not going to find someone who, when they open the box up and you've got a pork tenderloin sliced up in there, they're gonna be like, it's okay, nice try. Close the box and set it aside. But that's the kind of thing is, the rules are pretty simple, and there's not a whole lot of rules to it. To be honest with you, it's a pretty much open and relaxed policy. Yeah. So, to answer this question here, the judges are off the street judges. You're judged by your peers. Okay, we do not do a training class. We do not turn around and bring in certified judges. Now, there are certified KCBS judges that do come down and judge the CBA events, and they love it. They like the change of atmosphere, like the change of the pace and kind of what's going on. But we don't have certified judging. The people, where's the cook-off? Is it a park, or is it like a hotel or RV campground?
It's at a kennel club. It's in a big field in a kennel club, a dog club.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a huge field.
So you're putting out flyers, not flyers, but announcements for, hey, we want judges to come out. Are you having other activities at this event besides the cook-off?
No, just the cook-off.
Okay, so you're calling. You're going to want to find your local supporters, right? You're going to want to find like school teachers and people at the hospital, firemen. Fire department, police officers, all your first responders. You want to find guys like those. Sometimes people go down to local event centers, and they get judges that way. If you have military bases close, they get military guys to come out and judge. So you want to find your judges everywhere you can, but you're being judged by your peers, and that's to me, in my opinion. Many may not agree, but it's very tough to find a common flavor that ties in the general public. That's a hard thing to sell, right? Because you have six people at a table. Some like salt, some like pepper, some don't like anything. One guy likes spicy, one guy likes it sweet, but one lady doesn't like either one. So it's a very tough combination to try to fit that in there, where KCBS judges they're trained into a certain aspect, and they've developed their own sense of how they want to taste and eat their own barbecue, right? So they kind of have their own opinion of what they want their stuff to taste like. So, you get the table of death and you get the angel table. So you kind of get those there, but you're just being judged by the same people walking around the kennel club that are just checking it out. And those guys are coming in and say, I want to judge some, ribs and chicken and pork. So you're being judged by your peers, and it's just a basic community flavor. If that makes any sense. Yeah. I mean, you're throwing darts every weekend at that bullseye. You're just trying to throw darts at it. But what works well in one town is not going to work well in somewhere else. So what we do down here in Texas, it may smash it in Rhode Island. But then again, it may not. We may all sit in our chairs, and all the guys up there in that area just walking because we didn't put fish flake on it or some shit. I don't really know. I'm just throwing it out there. But that's the whole thing, is that there's no certified judges. They're just off the street peers that or that are walking around just wanting to eat some barbecue and have a good day.
Yeah. Now the judging aspect is all done, and Matt, you'll probably maybe know a little bit more, or either way, is done electronically with CBA. No more pen, pencil, paper stuff. It's all
took the human error out of it.
Set up a network, and everyone signs into said network, and each round comes up on that network's page, or however it's put, and it says it starts with excellent to poor. Aaron, you probably know more. So is it like excellent, good, pretty good, sucks, poor?
I'll tell you what we did. And there's some other there's I'm not going to say that. There's we gave a description to a number. Okay, so we put a word to help describe what that number 10 means. So whenever you turn around, it's like, a 10 on your score sheet means it's excellent. A 9 means it's great or good. I'd go back and look, and then like an 8 is good, and then 7 is poor. So you have those 4 numbers, and so you have fair. I apologize. I missed fair. I went from
We're gonna
good
have to
to
put
poor. But
we're gonna have to put Steven on the payroll.
man, you should have just actually had Steven just jump in here and do this.
He couldn't.
That
That was the whole thing.
he's probably back there. He's got him a nice. He's probably got him a toddy out there by that rainy ass day pool he's got going on down there. No, so we wanted to explain to you what a 10 would be. So we gave you a descriptive word. And then so if you think it's good, I mean it's good. Man, I like it. Then you get a 9. But if somebody says, damn, that's it, that's the best I've ever had, then they're obviously going to put down a 10. So we have, I'll explain this a little more. We have a tablet. Some are like an iPhone. It could be like a Samsung iPhone, and that's that same size, right? So we have a certain type of phone system we use on a secure Wi-Fi network. You can't tap into it. I'm not going to get into it. It's private. It doesn't work for anybody. It only works for our scoring system and our head judges to use their computer system. So when we have this tablet and when it prompts you up a screen, and all you got to do is follow the instructions. It's real simple. If you don't know how to use a cell phone, please don't try to judge it. If you cannot type on a cell phone and text a message to your son or daughter or husband, please don't try, because you're going to mess up, and then that's going to cause extra backup and extra work for our guys that are trying to do this. So you have it prompts you a screen, and it takes you from, once you finish that screen, it takes you hit next, and it goes right to the next one. Then it goes to the next one, and you continue to follow the screens until you're done. And then it says, you prompts you up, you're done, boom, you're done. That's it. What are you laughing at?
Robert Bowman. Only 10-7. I'm already doing better. No 6s.
That's so here you go. KCBS doesn't have 10s, right? They have 9s.
No, yeah.
So we have a 10. So just move your 6 up to a 7 and you suck. Okay, I'm just telling you. That's where's that now? No. So our 10 is a KCBS 9, and our 7 is a KCBS 6. I mean, it's a simple theory. And that's where our numbers different, because if you get 5 judges, so you have 6 judges that are going to judge this, and the lowest score gets dropped. Okay, just like KCBS, right? Your lowest score gets dropped. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we have a possible 200 is the most points you're going to score, and that 200, that's a perfect score. Okay, a perfect 200 is like hitting that 180 in KCBS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the 700 club for KCBS, that's our 777 club. So when you hit over 777 points, you become part of the 777 club, and that's like you're hitting that 700 mark in KCBS. So a perfect 200, hit the 777 club, you got a good chance of walking out with some money in your pocket and a couple of big GC trophies,
Nice. Yeah, I think that really covers the slight differences between what we're used to here and a couple of slight changes in how CBA rules it. Turn-ins are the same, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, and 3 because of the hour in between, but it's chicken, ribs, pork, brisket is your final turn-in. But yeah, it was just because, like you said, once this came out, the phone started going off. What are the rules? And there's not.
Well, you can go to the website. We can download the rules, and you can read them. They're going to be very vague. There's not a whole lot to it. We're not going to hold your hand, and we're not going to take you to the principal's office. Okay, it's a very relaxed organization. Okay, you should have fun. Barbecue should be fun. CBA is fun. We make it fun, and we don't want the same old. We don't want to have the same routine every weekend, and you're like, how's it going to go today? That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something different all the time, and that's why we like people from the crowd that are judging your barbecue. Okay, you don't have that one KCBS judge, and we're just comparing the two, so I'm not talking bad about nobody. But if you have a KCBS judge that doesn't really like a certain tenderness, and he likes a little bit different pull, or he likes a little sweetness, but over here on the CBA side, you have a 55-year-old lady or man that may like a little sweet heat, but doesn't like a lot of pepper. You're going to have the same thing, right? There's still people, they still have taste buds, they still have opinions. And all you're doing is just matching those opinions up. So, it's pretty much the only difference is really going to be there's no garnish in the box. There's just a piece of foil. Okay, there's a QR code. When you turn it in, you don't have number 57 written down because that was your spot, right? Because that's how the KCBS guys will write that down. They'll put your number down there, and that's how your box goes in. We have to have the QR code, and we'll attach that to you when you turn it in. And then the other thing is that shredded and chopped. Just don't do that for chicken and brisket. And turn your ribs in. If you want to put them cross-eyed and make arrows and put a heart inside of it, man, go for it. It's not a marked box because no one's going to know who that box is. They can't tell because there's no way to track a box. We don't have that trackable system there. So you do that, and then watch your turn-in times. I know there's something I was going to say a second ago, and I'm just trying to reiterate the small details that a lot of guys just miss out on. Here's the main thing. The one thing I want you to take away from this. If you are a KCBS cook and you are cooking this event, run your KCBS profile. Just don't bring any lettuce. Okay? Run your KCBS profile and be done with it. And then just listen to the rules. They're going to explain them very well. You have any questions, you can go right up there to them. They're going to talk to you. There may be a language barrier between us down here and y'all up there, but we'll figure that out. We're pretty smart down here, so we'll take care of business. So that's but no, I mean that's it's a really laid back situation, man. Don't stress over it too much and just have fun. Show up and have a good time.
Cool. James Dodson, I think you need to come up to New England 4th of July weekend, son. Take part in this. Have a little fun up here in Rhode Island. You never know. You might wind up in Lynchburg, Tennessee, come October. Because
I don't think James likes to travel past Oklahoma. So.
Oh, beautiful. Well, Matt, you got any other questions that might have popped up in your mind?
Not at all.
Oh man,
No.
You guys lay them on us. I mean, it's hard to tell you the rundown from A to Z.
Yeah.
Just in one small conversation, right? So that's where the questions come out from the guys in the crowd or from you guys. Like, is there something you just, like it's just kind of on the tip of your tongue or in the back? That's easier to answer those that way than it is to try to tell you from the rule from page 1 to page 20. It's hard to know to tell you all that stuff in between, but you're a barbecue cook. I mean, you know the same simple rules. It's everywhere. People just kind of stress out on the small details. And the small details are obviously for some people they're very quick and easy, and sometimes the small details is like a whole breakdown. So you don't want to tell them about the music. So we were telling you earlier, when you fill out your entry form, there should be a line on there that says, is that Matt? Do you have that on there where it says pick your song?
Yeah, they have
You
to
should
pick
have
two.
Two songs. You have two options. It took me 6 months to figure out my song. And that's just because the song is only going to play for about 20 or 30 seconds max. Okay, so, I mean, it's not going to play very long. So whatever song is your favorite song, that's what you want to put that on there. They're going to download it on their playlist. And then the head judge has a list of the teams. Somebody will be running the music in the background, and that they're the only two people that know the whole outcome. But when, like, say, 10th place chicken, when as soon as they call out, they say, okay, 10th place chicken, and they're going to stop, and then they're going to hear a song. Now, don't just jump up real quick because sometimes multiple teams pick the same song. And so if you're doing this, and we start from the beginning.
So we start the beginning of the song.
Of the song, yes. So you're not going to get to pick out the chorus line on verse 6. Fuck you. You can't do that. It doesn't work. it's when that song starts. For instance, okay, we obviously know that I'm a Red Solo Cup guy, so that's my song. It's been my song, and it'll stay my song. But you hear that, you hear that intro coming in, right? Dun, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that's my song. That's a catchy first 10 seconds. It's out there, and then I wait, and then they'll call the team name. You always just want to give it. It's just a second. Let your song play for a minute. You earned it. If you got that song played, you deserve it. You earned it. The first 15 seconds of that song is going to be playing, and then, of course, you can walk on up when they say your team name. So pick out a song. Pick out a song that's good to you. Try not to be too over the top vulgar, and they can't understand it, or it's something that is just kind of, it's not family style, because there are a lot of families and kids and stuff that come out to these events. We don't want to have a lot of trashy songs out there, but it is your song, and you play your song. You play you, and do you, and we don't have a problem with whatever you choose, but that's your song. And put down a couple of options, so that way, if a team does pick out AC/DC Back in Black, well, whoever chose it first. No Cardi B, that's right. Yeah. Or P Diddy for that matter right now. So if you turn around and you pick out, say, AC/DC Back in Black is your number one song, and 3 other teams did that, whoever got to that song first, they will try to ask the other teams, hey, we got to go to your plan B song, or do you have one more song you want to try to do? They try to make everybody happy. Yeah. But sometimes some teams just say, no, that's my song, and I want to play it. So they'll make an announcement, say, hey, guys, before you come up here, make sure we call the team name first, because we have a couple of different teams with the same song. And so we want to make sure we don't embarrass. You don't want to be that one team that walks all the way up from the back. It took you about a 100-yard walk to get up there, because you're one of those guys like sitting way in the back by the other field goal post. And then you get all the way up there, and it's not your team. They got called. Now you got to walk back, because you just didn't listen for the team name. So, just pick out a good one. But I mean, it's a great time. Gosh dang, man! If you'll understand when you get that first walk and you get that song started playing, you'll be like, oh man, that's me. And then you get excited. You get excited like you used to get excited when you first got your walks and your calls when you first started competing. It kind of makes you stacked up. So it's a good time. It's a good feeling.
There we go. We got another question from Daddy Dutch. Will you be supplying morning Bloody Marys and evening brown water?
Well, man, I got to fly, right? So, I mean, if I got to buy all this stuff, if I do get to make it up there, and I got to sit there and buy it all, I'm going to have to take up a donation kit, because Bloody Mary mix and brown water gets kind of expensive, especially if you got a lot of people. But no, we'll make some. We'll get it. We'll make it, and hopefully I can figure out how to work my schedule to get up there, and then borrow some, whatever I can cook on. And we'll see how that kind of works out and rolls. But yeah, man. Well, if I get to make it, I'll definitely bring the morning bloodies and the Texas Red and a little brown water. Obviously, you guys have liquor stores, so we can kind of pick up whatever we need.
Oh, we got plenty of liquor stores. They're on like every other corner in between that and the Dunkin' Donuts. It goes liquor store, Dunkin' Donuts, liquor store, Dunkin' Donuts, liquor store, Dunkin' Donuts.
No, it's a good time, guys. And Matt, I'm glad. So, what made you decide to sanction this with CBA?
Well, in 2022, I was able to go to Dallas and compete in the CBA.
Good.
And I enjoyed it, and it was just a fun, laid-back atmosphere. And I said, well, the first chance I get, I'm going to try to bring one to New England. And it just happened that KCBS wasn't doing a contest in Rhode Island this year. I reached out to Fred and said, hey, can you come to New England? They put me in contact with the Fifers, and here we are.
So what is the weather like in July?
A little cooler than Texas.
Can you give me a number? Like
80?
Because I'm going to tell
mid-80s.
I'm going to tell you, we did July 4th weekend, and then we did Alamo Fest like on that Monday or Tuesday. I mean, it's like Monday, I guess it was, right before July 4th, and it was 3 or 4 days, like back to back, 2 comps in like 3 days. And on Saturday, then we skipped Sunday, and we're right to Monday, and it was pushing. It was in the 1.7s to 1.10s, and humidity was crazy. Your head was splitting open. I mean, it was a rough week for competitions there. So the numbers were dwindling down. But you're talking about the high 80s.
You'd be in the mid to high 80s, mid 80s probably.
High 80s. 4th of July.
If you want, I can set up snow guns in your area if you want.
Oh yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool it
Yeah.
down a little bit, give you some snow.
You know, just that's all right. We can take that. A little snow. I mean, it's we don't get that very often down here, but
Who bring it into my backyard right now, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting on fucking 20 inches of it, the son of a bitch, from the other fucking day. 20 inches of goddamn snow. I got 3 more fucking trees that are cracked out here that I gotta fucking take down once it's all done. Like, son of a bitch. Then I was out of power for 3 fucking days.
well, I tell you what,
Welcome to New England.
you've got two of the best CBA judges coming up there, and they're excited. And Rhonda and Steven are top notch. I'm gonna tell you, they're go getters, and she runs it. Steven runs. They do good. They put it in the. I mean, they just put it in perspective that they make you feel like you're part of it. You're a Texan. They're gonna make you feel like you're from here where we're at, and you're just gonna have a great time. You'll love all of it, and they're kind. They're a sweet couple, and they love barbecue. I mean, Steven's a hell of a cook himself, and so don't count him out. You know, he can walk up in GC anywhere he wants to go. So those guys are that you've got a team of people that care about barbecue, and they care a lot about the barbecue family. So you've got 2 people that are really going to knock it out of the park.
Yep, there you go. James, we can put the word out, brother. Can't promise anything on drums anyway. I know we already had Mr. Purvis already jumped up early on a set of drums, but we can put the word out and see what pops up.
So how many teams did you expect? Like I know you can't really say that, and I know it's hard to tell. But for a contest in Rhode Island, what time? And it's an auto, right? So you're going to bring in a lot of KCBS cooks looking for an auto, anyways. Do you have an idea what a contest in the Rhode Island area kind of brings? Team-wise, team count?
Last year's KCBS Auto, we had, I believe, 48 teams. So we're hoping to max out the facility at 50 this year.
So is it on the flyer that it's capped at 50?
No.
Okay. So what happens if 55 teams show up?
Well, we'll shut off signups at 50, but I should have them put that on the flyer that we cap it at 50.
If you could just put that out there a little bit so that when people are looking, they know to get in early. Because if you don't tell anybody you've capped it at 50, and then all the people just keep rolling in, now they're calling because in Texas, we don't always pre-register for cook-offs. I know the KCBS guys do, so that's not an issue for you guys. But down here, sometimes we just leave on a Friday and show up at the first one, and we never register. So if it had a cap team on it, we wouldn't know that. So I mean, if it ain't on the flyer, we wouldn't know. So it's good information. First 50 teams signed up, they get it. And that's where it's at. So that'll be good though. It's just good information to know. So how many do you have signed up now since you opened up the registration?
We opened it up Thursday night. We have 6.
So the Texas guys they're not used to early signups all the time. They do early signups, but the Texas guys aren't always used to it. And that is a planned trip, right? So obviously you're going to sign up early. You're going to get your stuff in there, make sure you're paid up, and that way you can go because you're not going to waste a flight trip and all your time and everything to get up there just to be turned away. So that's good to know. So that I was kind of curious when you said it earlier about how many teams you could fit in there.
Yep. Big D, it has a great idea. Have the local Zamboni come dump the snow in the Texas section.
Well, I'll tell you this: us West Texas folk, we'll roll around and make snow angels. We're not worried about that. We get snow out here all the time. I mean, it may only snow once or twice a year, maybe once a year, maybe a good one, maybe twice, pretty close. But the further, it just depends on where in the state you are, where we get that. But Rhonda fixed it on the form to cap at 50. Perfect. So there, you see, it's already done. That's how fast you get CBA support is that fast, right? We talked about it a minute and a half ago, and there it is, already done.
I can tell you, Aaron, they've been incredible. Anything I've asked, anything I've needed, they just right on top of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. You make a phone call to either one of them, and your answer pretty back. If they don't have an answer, get it for you. But no, you've got a great support team. all the CBA board, they all have an idea of what's going on, how to help make things better. They all have a picturesque kind of thing. But Matt, you're gonna have a great event and you're gonna max it out. So I mean, it's I think right now, and I don't know for sure, but I think I've heard 7 or 8 guys that I know from the state are coming up there. So I talked about it on Sunday. Whenever we did the cook-off here in Midland at my hometown, and then we talked about it at lunch, trying to get up there. So I'm just going to start looking at, July 4th and try to make sure I'm available and I can get on up there and spend an extra day with you guys and then cook it and then come on back home. So I'm kind of excited, but we'll just see who all can make it up there. It is a busy weekend for everybody. So family events and, lake trips and all that stuff there, hot as hell. So everybody's wanting to get in the water. Of course, you guys might have a little white powder on the ground, so that might be about the same thing. So, snowball fights in July. I've never done one before, but it might be fun.
Awesome, boys. Well, it seems like the internet here is getting a little wonky, but I appreciate both of you boys giving me some time to talk about this event coming on, hashing out some of the rules, get a little clarification on stuff, and.
Yep, there he goes.
I mean, he was working really good up until this point. So, like, is he pushing a button to say pause, or is he just actually freezing on purpose? Or
I don't know. Donnie's out in the middle of nowhere up there in central northern New Hampshire up there.
So, where's the closest airport?
TF Green Airport in actually Warwick, Rhode Island. You're about 15 minutes away from the venue.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be fun. I mean, we looked at it because I like to drive. There's quite a few of us here in the state. Me, Robert Smith, some of those guys. We don't really mind driving at all. And it's funny because Robert will jump up. Next thing you know, he's heading 4 states over. But driving's not an issue. But I was like, I wonder how far it is. My son-in-law looked it up. He goes, it's only like 30 hours. I'm like, I could do that in 2 days. But just driving up there. But obviously that's not an option. So it'd take me a week. Get up there, cook, and then come on back home. It'd be too. It's not the drive up there. It's the drive home.
It's the drive home. Yeah. Yeah. It's not fun.
Multiple 30-minute power naps, to get through the day. But no, so the airport's right there. There'll be a lot of guys looking for equipment to borrow. So if there's teams out there that want to pitch in and help do that, and if they help them, most cooks will say, "Hey man, you got me some cooking equipment. Come help me out, learn some things. Maybe show you some behind the scenes stuff and kind of give them a little cooking demo at the same time, and it helps further their careers. And they get something out of it. And you got something out of it. So I'm hoping that's something we can all arrange.
Yeah, we get the word out. We got a lot of equipment already tied up, and we're looking for more. So any team who can't participate, who wants to loan out their equipment, will gladly take it. And anybody from Texas who's driving up and they want to spend the week up here, we have our contest Friday, Saturday. And in about an hour and a half away, the following Friday, Saturday, is a KCBS Jack qualifier in Connecticut.
Okay.
So you have an opportunity to either get the auto or another bung if you drive it up.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I mean, you start saying that could be a different story. Because, if I wanted to go ahead and take a 10-day weekend off, and then come up there and drive up and do that and stay the week and then hang out, that might be something I want to do instead. So, I mean, there's all kinds of options, obviously, but you can still fly up and hang out the week and then fly back the following weekend, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. But
it's going to be a good time. You're going to have a good event. Have a good event.
We're looking forward to it. Hey,
there he is. God damn it. But it is
those trees you got to cut down, man. They're just screwing it up.
Tell me about it. But like I said, boys, thank you so much for taking the time, clarified up a bunch of stuff from some of the questions that have been rolling in. And
do we answer all of them, you think?
I think so. I think we got quite a bit of it covered.
Went over the gist of it, right? We just went over the main points and the gist of it. So if there's something kind of oddball or whatever.
Yeah. Here's a question. Wonder if I should pull my trailer to Rhode Island. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's go.
good.
Start now.
How far is Daddy Dutch from? How far is he from there?
Probably somewhere about 24 to 30 hours. He is in Lamars, Iowa.
Ooh.
It's about 30 hours from Texas to get up there, I think. So
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, let me see if there's hit any. The last I remember, Rhonda fixed the cap at 50. Yeah, and that pretty much covered them, at least on the list I had, and anybody in the chat. But like I said,
and Aaron pretty much covered it, saying just if you're a KCBS cook, just cook your game, just cook your barbecue.
Good game.
Good barbecue's good barbecue, regardless.
Good barbecue travels, and but the KCBS guys up there already kind of have a leg up because they've been cooking in those areas around there, so they probably already kind of know that what their hometown favorite flavors are. But at the same time,
if
the
they
guys
do,
that
they
travel
should tell
pretty
me.
far-
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, I mean, there's some guys that do good, and they're pretty consistent. It's the simple flavors, simple, keep it simple, and but no, man, just if you're a KCBS cook, just cook your game. Don't change nothing. Okay, just cook your game because you cook the same game in Rhode Island as you would in probably Texas, as I would in New Mexico, and I probably would in California and Nevada. I'm gonna cook the same recipe. It doesn't always hit, but I'm gonna cook the same stuff. So you're not really changing nothing. But I mean, it's just just have a good time and just enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, and support the guys that came out to support you, and just have fun.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, and I think I'm going to be down. Unfortunately, I can't cook the event this year, but I think I'm definitely going to swing on down and bother some people, have some fun, But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited that CBA's on board. Show what they got. And just get out, expand the wings. So you're in
Yeah.
Texas and all the way up this way. So
Yeah, there's more to come. There's been more cook-offs out of state, and I think as people kind of catch on to what we have going on and the way we present our organization to the rest of the world, I think a lot of guys will enjoy bringing that type of atmosphere to to their state and their community. So I don't think you're gonna when you get to going it and you're watching the event and you're seeing from the judges in the background, Steve and Rhonda, to the CBA supporters that come up there and cook, walking around in barbecue family, enjoying a good Friday night and a good Saturday night. You're going to realize that it's a very simple, laid back situation, but it's a lot of fun. So that's we're just a bunch of cooks. That's all we are.
there we go. So Matt, where can everybody go and get the sign up sheets?
You can go to my Facebook page. It's on there at Matt Pereira on Facebook. And I believe there might be a link on the CBA website as well.
Yeah. All right. So we'll find the links and we'll put everything on the social media.
It's on the CBA's Facebook group page as well.
Okay. Perfect. Well, where the hell was that?
Uncle Steve wants to come up and cook it. Come on.
Steve, come on, brother. Come on. Daddy Dutch, 22 hours, 1,465 miles. Nothing.
That's nothing.
Hell, I did that when I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, that was nothing. I mean, that spilt my Sprite, guys. I mean, that's you're gonna. If a lot of teams that want to drive up there and have a good time. Was it furthest northeast? Oh shit, Chris. Man, Chris, how far are you from there? Let's see, probably northeast. I mean, Kansas and Tennessee. I mean, that's about as far as I've gone.
It's about as far as gone. Okay.
That's about Missouri. That's about as far as I've gone. I haven't really made it up that way. I've been wanting to. We even talked about some cook-offs going on up there and coming up there and cooking, but I haven't made it up that far. That's 2 hours. No, I'm sorry.
27 hours from you.
27. Gee whiz, everybody's smart from you guys, man.
But all right, guys, get in there, get signed up. Let's go. Let's make this happen. And we'll throw one hell of a bash on the 4th of July, baby.
Yeah.
That's a Thursday.
That's a Thursday. But
Thursday.
then it's the whole weekend. Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you have any activities going on besides the cook-off, man? Like anything going on besides that? Food trucks coming out or anything like eats, or is there restaurants around there? I mean, what does the atmosphere in the town look like?
Well, there's a lot of 4th of July celebrations going on Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the whole area. On 4th of July, I believe we have the oldest 4th of July parade in the country in Bristol, Rhode Island, which is 15-minute drive from the site. Friday night, we are going to have a New England-style clam chowder dinner for all the teams. Give you a little bit of New England flavor.
So is there okay? So where the Kennel Club is at, my phone's about to die. When the Kennel Club is at, how close? Like hotels, restaurants?
10 minutes.
I mean, okay,
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Hotels?
10 minutes to hotels, airport, restaurants, everything within 10, 15 minutes.
So that way, the guys that are coming up there, without trying to Google search everything, it's going to give us an idea, right? So we're pretty much 10 minutes away from like stores to hotels, everything. Okay.
Everything.
And what is the kennel? Is it on a parking lot? Is it a grassy knoll? Is it
It's a big grass field.
Okay.
There are some campsites with electricity and water. Everyone will have water. Most of the teams will have access to electricity.
Okay.
Some of the smaller teams will just have to run on a generator or just hook up at one of the other guys' trailers or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
If they just need lights.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And the entry fee is $325?
$325. Yeah.
$325. And that's just 4 meats, and that's it?
4 meats.
Okay. All right. Heck yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good time. I remember I looked the flyer over. I just wanted to make, if there's jackpots or y'all have anything on the side gigs, or is there going to be any live music, or is it just everybody just shows up in a pasture, burning the meat down?
It just shows up I'm working on some live music for Friday night. No guarantees yet, but I'm working on that. We just got final approval for this last Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's like we're off to the races.
I bet we get old Steven a little brown water. I bet he get a guitar. I bet we can hear him play it. I'm not telling you he knows how to play a guitar. I'm sure he don't know how to sing, but I bet he could give it a go anyways.
Fly in and positive and get you set up with some cans and some gear. So, James Dodson, let's hook up with Chris. We'll get see if we can get that rolling for you. Let me write everything down here.
Take notes, John. You're in charge of the equipment.
He didn't say I'm positive we can get James Dotson a setup. He said I'm positive we can get you a setup. So hang on a minute now, John. You're tossing my shit out there a little bit. I mean, he made that comment to me.
All right, you want to call? Listen, you want to work on some jobs? I have a secret stash here that's for a certain somebody.
Okay.
I talked to in Houston. Like I said, the only thing I don't have is a drum. But I think we can work around that.
We'll just let Bill make a phone call to Tim and just get 4 gateways. Just have them shipped and delivered to Rhode Island. And Bill can buy the drums, and I'll buy them off of him cheaper. That's what you can just do it that way.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
Now, question for you, Aaron. In KCBS up here, we do Wild Child. The person finishes 11.
Yeah. We do Wild Childs down here in Texas, too.
I've heard a lot of stories about this Calcutta thing.
There's different forms of a Calcutta, and that's how I actually got the name for my beef injection, because it's CALCUTTA. But a Calcutta is where you just buy your team, and then the top 3 in each meat depends on how much you're paying in there too, and you pay it out. You do the Wild Child. Wild Child is not run by a CBA. It's not run by
Right.
KCBS. Wild
Right.
Child is ran by a cook out of the campground. So Wild Child is ran by anybody. And yes, have a Wild Child. If you want to do a Calcutta, man, we can tell you all about the Calcuttas when we get there and explain it. There's different ones. There's different types of that kind of stuff. And barbecue cooks are the biggest gamblers in the world, man. We gamble every weekend in hopes of a $50 check or a trophy, a plastic trophy. So sometimes you want more. So I mean, we will always gamble on something. So yeah, if Wild Child is something that the KCBS teams do a lot. They do them down here in Texas the same way. So it's the first one out of the money, right? And so pick your category. So man, if you want to run one of those up, get you a team that's in charge of that and do that. If you want to do a different style deal, you can, and we can help you, learn some of those different games as well. But Wild Child is perfect, and just do that and call it good.
Steven's stopping in Atlantic City on the way. Get a little warm up.
Well, when you do, I'll give you some money for that roulette table, and we'll put 1,000 on 5, and we'll call it good.
Oh, beautiful!
No, you're going to have a good time, and there's going to be a lot of good activities, and I think people are going to be opening their eyes up that there's a lot more to barbecue than just a certain way. There's a lot of different ways of getting to the same overall aspect. So it's going to be a good time.
Fantastic. But all right, boys. I thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it. And get the word out because, like I said, this is going to be good. And thank you, Aaron, for jumping in and giving us the rundown, some clarification some of the boys might have had. But you guys hang in there 1 second. I'm going to close this out. Well, that's it, guys. You heard it. July 5th and 6th, Warwick, Rhode Island. The Rhode Island State Barbecue Championship sanctioned by Champions Barbecue Alliance. It's going to be a good time. Hop on the websites. Get signed up. Once these start flying, they're going to go fast. So get in now while you can. But thank you all for tuning in to this week. Next week, man, it's going to be interesting. We got the one and only Mr. Harry Sue stopping in before he goes on a lengthy trip. I guess he's going to be traveling for 3 straight months starting after next week. So I catch him just before he starts taking off. So that's going to be good. It's always good to talk to Harry. And I think after this weekend, for sure, I think this weekend he became a Lego figure. They actually have a Harry Sue Lego figure that he posted on his social media the other day. So I got to see what the hell it takes to get into one of those. But yeah, Harry will be joining me next week for a great conversation. And like I said, thank you all for tuning in. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.